Oh, the weekend is here. Finally. Oh my God, this whole week's been long. But you know the best part about the weekend?
It's not the weekday.
Okay, that is a good point, because not being a weekday does make it better. But the best part
I guess technically it still is a weekday, but we're not all about technicalities here.
No. The best part about the weekend is getting...
Technically speaking, we're not about, being technical. As you were saying.
No. No, I was going to say the best part about the weekend...
But one thing I really love?
Oh, you cut me off again. Oh, you're a dick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry,
okay.
Man. Well, I'm not really sorry.
No, you're never sorry. Don't worry about that. The best part is Porky Pigging it.
Porky Pigging it, huh? You like, what, that, I didn't notice a pig outside.
No, you have to Porky Pig it on the weekend.
Is it now? Wait. Is this something you can only do on the weekend?
Well, no, you can do it Monday through Friday, but it's best on the weekend because you don't have to work. Don't Porky Pig at work. Porky Pig at work will get you fired. Let me explain what Porky Pigging is real quick.
I'm frightened.
Porky Pigging it.
My wife don't mind.
She be digging it.
Just drinking beer.
Smoking cigarettes.
It's my day off and I'm Porky Pigging it.
Oink, 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 oink.
Well, I work all week, wear a suit, no mistaking. I do what I do just to bring home the bacon. So when Sunday comes, I'm gonna lay around the couch and drop my drawers and let my tea hang out.
I call up my boys, Jake and Lance. We turn on the game and pull down our pants. From the waist down, nothing but my birthday suit. Feel the nice cool breeze on my skin flute.
Well, I'm sitting around the house,
Porky Pigging it.
my dog don't mind.
He be digging it.
Just drinking beer.
Smoking cigarettes.
It's my day off and I'm Porky Pigging it.
Oink, 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 oink,
Oink it out.
oink,
Oink it
oink.
out. You pig. Yeah, I got needs, I got wants, and once a week I like to air out my schwanz. I'm giving high fives to the UPS guy, cause he was in Fast Times at Richmond High.
One time I singed some skin right off me. Spilled a few drops of pipe and hot coffee. I jumped off the sofa yelling, man, that kills. Put on some Neosporin and beat off to the hills.
Well, I'm sitting around the house,
Porky Pigging it.
the kids don't mind.
They be digging it.
Just drinking beer.
Smoking cigarettes.
It's my day off
And I'm Porky Pigging
well,
it.
I'm sitting around the house,
Porky Pigging it.
the neighbors don't mind.
They be digging it.
Just drinking beer.
Smoking cigarettes.
It's my day off and I'm
Porky Pigging it. Oink, oink, oink,
Yeah.
oink, 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 oink,
You know what time it is.
oink, 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 oink.
I would like to kick back and let it all hang out, but honey, you might want to foot grease the couch.
Happy company tonight. I'm wicked.
Sorry, baby girl, tonight I'm Porky Pigging.
Start dealing, brain frizz
You don't
feeling.
think I see the glances that your friends keep stealing?
And if I get shrinkage, don't make stupid jokes like pointing at it saying,
That's all, folks. Well, I'm sitting around the house,
Porky Pigging it.
my wife don't mind.
She be digging it.
Just drinking beer.
Smoking cigarettes.
It's my day off and I'm Porky Pigging. I'm sitting around the house,
Porky Pigging
the
it.
kids don't mind.
They be digging it.
We're all drinking beer.
Smoking cigarettes.
It's my day off and I'm Porky
Digging it.
Yeah. Hey, dude, pass me the flashlight.
Digging it.
Oh, yeah. You know what the best thing about this is? I don't need to buy a watch because I can use my erection as a sundial. Hey, look, it's 5:30. Time to hump the sofa. Oh. Honey, you're home early.
So now you have an idea what I'm saying. Porky Pigging it.
Well, you can only do that on the weekends. I mean, what kind of how do they keep you supervised?
I'm pretty much off the chain 24/7.
Well, you've got this. It's like your assistant tells you it's Saturday. You have a Porky Pigging it appointment scheduled for 8:00.
Oh, I got it programmed in my phone right now. That's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Wake up Saturday morning, your phone's like, get naked. That's great.
I know we had this conversation about Terminator babies.
No.
And I'm not going to go there, but I'm just saying that your phone and Terminator babies, I mean, there's something, they're too similar. There's too much of a coincidence there.
Well, I got to tell you, I had to break down this week, and I bought something that to introduce into my relationship with my wife.
Was it the chainsaw dildo?
No. Hang on.
Okay.
To make our relationship better, I felt that it was time that we broke down and did this after our conversation we had last week.
Absolutely.
So I thought to myself, what could I get to make this relationship better? And what would make my wife happy and me happy? So I actually found a new toy that I can introduce into my relationship that makes it better.
Okay, you found something that's going to make your relationship better. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's whip this thing out.
It works very simple. Watch this.
Okay.
Hey, my drink's empty. Can I get another drink?
I understand why you're Porky Pigging it on the weekends now.
Yeah, she didn't like the bell either. I think it's the thought that counted.
You know, I think it's the lack of thought that's counting here.
Oh, I stood there a good 30 seconds debating if I should buy that or not. I mean, a lot of thought went into that.
I don't doubt it.
I think a lot of things I do, a lot of thought goes into.
Maybe you should try putting, maybe 45 seconds into this thought.
No, I think 30 seconds is like the perfect amount of time you should put in any decision you make in life.
Well, maybe if you put 45 seconds into thought of this particular item, you wouldn't be Porky Pigging it.
Technically, I guess 18 years ago, I made one of those 30 seconds decisions, and I was like, to wear a condom or not to wear a condom? And now there's the byproduct sitting in the corner.
No. Let's be honest here. Years ago, you made a decision, and it took you 30 seconds to follow through.
Good point. Okay, so we got like a lot of stuff lined out for tonight.
We've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight's show.
But there's some new things we got to mention real quick before we get started and get into any of this.
Okay.
One, we was going to use Skype, and Skype caused a lot of problems for us with the software that we run to broadcast. So what we've done is we've actually hooked up the phone line through my own personal phone.
We have phone. The phone lines are open.
Yes, we do have a phone now. And I just use my personal cell to do this. So I'm going to throw the number out there, and please, no pervs calling me at 2 a.m. with heavy breathing. Unless it's free, as long as I don't have to pay $1.99 a minute, I think I'll be happy.
Well, can I still call?
No.
You're an asshole.
Dude, that's beyond creepy. Things you request. You know what bothers me about phone sex?
What bothers you about phone sex?
If a girl talks to you dirty over a phone, it's $3.99 a minute. But if a guy does it, it's sexual harassment.
Double standard, man.
I'm telling you.
This
guys have no rights. So, anyway, we do have a phone line. The number for that is 660-815-4940. Here after the next segment, during our little rants and raves that we go into, if you want to give us a call and share your opinion, you're more than welcome to. Again, 660-815-4940. If there's any crazy people listening, forget my number, please. So we're going to roll into some music real quick. We're going to get our notes together. And once we do, we'll be back, and hopefully we'll get a call from somebody. And I think we have our shit together now. At least I think we
do. Boy, that'd be a first.
Yeah, just don't ask my mom that question, because she may not say that I have my shit together.
No, and the last time I talked to your mom, she said, "Don't forget your pants."
That creeps me out just a little bit.
You want to really be creeped out? You want to see the video?
No, I don't. Let's pass on that. I do not want to see a video of anything. All right. So what we have gathered here today, you had a topic that you've been working on all week, something you wanted to talk about, and we're going to roll into that, or is there anything else we need to make an announcement on, or?
Go for it.
Well, I know the story that you were going to talk about had to do with this Anthony Ray Hitton guy.
Oh yeah. What was it, 20 years ago, this guy supposedly, I can't remember if he shot somebody or murdered somebody, supposedly.
28 years ago.
28 years ago.
It was like 1985.
Okay, so he allegedly killed somebody, and he goes to prison for it. And now they're
death row at that.
Yeah, death row. Well, what's crazy? It takes them 28 years to kill somebody on death row. Yeah.
Well, that's the government at work. It always takes time to do anything.
Oh, good God. Anyway, so the guy's been on death row for 28 years. They find new evidence and say, oh, guess what? Our bad. You're not guilty after all.
Right. And that was the funny thing about this story is this guy was in prison for 28 years on death row. He watched other people being walked down to be executed. I mean, you gotta think of the mental torment too that goes behind this. Knowing that you're gonna be put down someday, but you don't know what day. For 28 years. All because the key witness they brought in to testify, which was a ballistics expert, was blind in one eye and had only like 60% of his vision in the other eye. Now, when he was put on the stand and asked, he even blatantly said that he was blind in one eye and had poor eyesight in the other. Now, he came back that the ballistics from that Mr. Anthony's gun matched the bullet of the murder. So this guy's basically been sitting on death row since 1985. Now, as you can pretty much guess, they've been protesting this over and over and over for several years. Well, finally, they decided to get the case looked at again. And they've called in another ballistics expert. Now, he compares the shells from Mr. Hinton's gun and the shell in question from the murder. Not even remotely close to the same markings.
So this guy has been falsely imprisoned on death row for the last 28 years.
Pretty much.
Okay, so now we've got new evidence. I assume they've let him free now.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he's, I think what he was the most upset about when they interviewed him, he made a statement along the lines, and I kind of paraphrase this because I don't remember exactly what it was. But they had every intention of executing me for something I didn't do. So how many other people are actually sitting on death row that didn't commit the crime? That was charged back when ballistics was not like the greatest.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. God, man, it's scary to think about. But here's another thing to think about. So you falsely imprison somebody. Come to find out almost 3 decades later that they are actually innocent. Is that person who's been imprisoned for this period of time, are they entitled to some kind of compensation? And what kind of compensation would take care of a person? I mean, good Lord, you've been on death row for almost 30 years. I think you'd be entitled to some kind of compensation.
Well, yeah, I think he's got a great case to sue a lot of people. Just off the flip side, from the state's aspect, I think we should look at an average wage, what annual income would be.
No, fuck that. Okay, look, I go to McDonald's, spill hot coffee on my cell, and I get $50,000. This guy was been imprisoned for almost 30 years.
I didn't even get to finish what I was saying. You were just kind of like,
I'm
blah,
sorry.
blah, blah, McDonald's. Nice plug there, even though we don't get paid. Anyway, my point is, look at a good salary, $65,000 a year, for 28 years. Right off the flip, when this man gets out, he gets a check from the state going, we fucked up. Now, this doesn't include the prosecutors that wrongly prosecuted him. It doesn't include the judge for not checking in to see. The judge didn't even check to see if these witnesses were credible.
Well, is it up to the judge to decide if the witness is credible? I mean,
No, not witness. We're talking about experts that they bring in.
You're talking about experts brought in for the prosecution.
I can bring any Tom, Dick, or Harry in and say, hey, I want you to get up there and stand and tell these people that this is the bullet.
You would think that his defense attorney would have said, hey, look, this ballistic analysis was done by a blind guy, literally done by a blind guy, and
that brings me to the third person that would get sued.
That you would say sue the defense attorney as well?
You bet. All of them.
No, now what about the 12 people sitting on his jury? I mean, where does this end? I mean, the 12 people on the jury, they heard how blind this ballistic expert was, and they still found the guy guilty.
I don't know how far you can go with it, but I know who I would target. Because what is the price tag for 28 years?
Yeah, really. 68,000.
No,
No.
I'm just saying per year. So
yeah, that doesn't even come close
That's
because you're
just
still. I mean, you're saying okay, you work a job 8 hours a day and you're getting $68,000 a year for doing this. You're talking about a guy who's spending an additional 16 hours a day locked, falsely imprisoned.
I'm saying right off the flip,
Yeah.
that's the money he should get. Just so he has a place to go when he gets out of prison. Now, what follows from beyond that point, who knows? And don't get me wrong, I am firmly for the death penalty. But I believe in a thing called justice also. And that was not due process. That was, you know what? I need to win some cases.
This has been a case of blind justice.
Right, pretty much. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where it went. God, to think about 28 years of my life, that would really suck.
Well, I know that you and I have touched on this a little bit, but given cases like this, do you think that a civilian judicial oversight committee would help the judicial system?
Well, and here's the problem with oversight committees. Who's going to supervise the oversight committee?
Exactly.
Then who's going to supervise that committee that oversees that committee? I mean, you would just create more and more fat cat jobs for people making crazy amounts of money.
I agree, but we got to do something to keep stuff like this from happening again.
So I don't know what the answer to that is. I do think there has to be an accountability on the judge, the prosecuting attorney, the defense attorney. Where do we stop and say it's about winning cases instead about justice? And because if you send a man, you wrongly accuse him and send him to prison, there really is no payback for that. There's nothing we can do. You know, no note with a little sorry written on it's not going to take care of that.
Really. You know, I think the listeners out there, I think you guys, if you guys got any ideas on this, hit us up on our Facebook page. You got our Facebook page there?
I do.
And what's our Facebook page?
Well, it's actually a group.
We'll tell the people about the Facebook thing.
About the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
Man, you are so out of the technology loop. It's not even funny.
Terminator babies, enough said.
Oh, please. But we do have Warped Internet Radio, the actual radio company part of this, that has a page that we use for the Asylum also, where you can go post questions. But the best way to do it is go to our website at www.warpedinternetradio.com, because there you can go on the chat room and chat live with us during the show. Or you can use the number I gave earlier and actually call us. So, but back to the judge thing instead of the promotion thing here.
I give you an opportunity to do a little promoting.
I know, right?
And what do?
I feel like a whore.
You are. Zach, give your dad
Technically,
a dollar.
wait a minute. I don't make money off that. So I'm not a whore. I'm a slut. There's a difference. So thank you.
Next week on the Asylum, whores versus slut.
Yeah.
Which are you?
That sounds like a celebrity death match. Okay, so these lawyers, who holds them accountable?
Well,
who oversees them? I mean,
really, I was talking to somebody else about this. You have these overzealous prosecuting attorneys that just want to go out there and make their name. And it's not about justice, it's more about their win-loss ratio. And then you have these defense attorneys who play golf with them. So you've got both sides playing golf together. So the money you're paying your defense attorney, I can't say for certain.
It pays for the green time.
I'm not, but there's a little voice that says that there's a percentage of that money that you paid your defense attorney going into the pockets of the prosecuting attorney, so that whatever little minor offense you committed just got knocked down to a big fine and probation.
Well, you know, I will admit, I had a similar situation happen to me about 15 years ago.
Yeah, we all know you got fucked. You got caught fucking that horse.
That wasn't the issue I was going to talk about.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway. No, 15
Don't apologize to me. You should apologize to the horse.
He was smiling.
Well,
Yeah,
as
exactly.
long as there's consent.
I think we both walked away happy. Anyway, then you got me flustered after that one because I'm like,
That gets you a little hot and bothered there.
A horse?
A horse is a horse, of course.
You don't know what's below this desk. I could be Porky Pigging it, sir.
You got a fleshlight underneath there? You sick.
I can see in the dark. I'm good.
You deviant.
So, 15 years ago, I got a DWI.
Oh, you got one of those?
One of those. Which was just a bad situation. But anyway, so here's the deal. I sat in court that day. Now, the lawyer that I chose was a golf buddy of the judge. So you already see how that's working.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It cost me like $1,500 I paid this lawyer up front. So I'm in court that day, and I watched the first guy they call up on the docket, had spent 3 days in jail over the weekend for not paying a seatbelt ticket.
They sent him to jail for a seatbelt ticket.
For a seatbelt ticket. Because he refused to pay it. So
that's ridiculous.
The judge just kind of chews this guy out in front of the whole courtroom and says, I'm going to give you 2 weeks to pay the $15 plus the $25 court cost. If you don't pay it, I will have my officers pick you up again on a Friday night, and you will spend another weekend in my jail. Now, this is the judge that I've got to stand up in front because I was drinking and driving. Okay? So I'm nervous now. I'm sweating bullets back there in that hardwood chair going, I'm going to jail. This guy is going to throw that mallet at me. I mean, I'm done. So I get up, I walk across the floor, and my lawyer's standing there next to me. He pleads my case. The judge asked me, he goes, you have anything to say regarding this? And I basically told the judge, I said, look, I was on vacation with some friends. I had a couple of drinks. I drove and I shouldn't have. I made a bad choice. And the judge basically looked at me and said, don't do it again. All this will go away if I never see you again. I said, yes, sir. And I walked out of that courtroom, did not pay a fine, did not pay a ticket, nothing. So people saying that lawyers don't grease palms of judges and things aren't bought off, it's BS.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, we've seen it. We've all seen it.
Yeah,
we heard the stories. So, I mean, yeah, it does happen. So how do we fix this problem? Which sucks because if I ever get in trouble again, now I'm not going to be able to pay a lawyer to get me back.
Yeah, you're screwed now.
On that level, yeah, maybe not a big deal. But when you're talking about manslaughter and 28 years of your life, yeah, I don't want to think that somebody's getting paid off to put me in prison for something I didn't do.
Well, what's bad in this instance is it's going to cost the state even more, now that he's found innocent. And what we got to think about is this idea of reparations of people who's been sent away wrongfully. Is the court going to revisit old cases? I mean, are they going to revisit this bad judicial call by a previous judge, which is going to really fuck the state?
Well, I think not only the judge, but also the cases that the defending and prosecuting attorney both handled. I mean, you almost have to, because if this kind of a case can slip by, what else slipped by?
Exactly.
But I think the part of the story that nobody focused on that I want to bring up is what if it wasn't 28 years? What if after 10 years of being on death row, they executed this man? And then all of a sudden it comes to light that this man was innocent. You can't bring him back from the dead. It's one thing to be locked away for 28 years, but once you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah, then you're gonna have a lawsuit case in front of a judge of a wrongful death case and compensation for him to be wrongfully imprisoned. But at the same time, you're arguing this case in front of a judge. That judge has got to be thinking, wait a minute, this could have been me overseeing this case.
Well, not only that, but
these judges are going to try to set precedents that are going to keep judges and prosecuting attorneys out of hot water for making the bad call.
Well, and what judge is going to call out another judge?
Good point.
I mean, that's like ratting on a coworker. I mean,
But when you got a
protect the
coworker
people you
not
work
doing
with.
their job
Well,
or doing their job correctly, you got to get rid of that coworker and get somebody in there that's going to do the job and do it right.
Sometimes I believe coworkers should pull other coworkers aside and go, hey, I've noticed these things, and I'm just trying to keep you out of hot water by letting you know, you need to kick up your A game, do something, and that's on an employee level. I'm not saying that this is going to work for judges. I think really what needs to happen is we need to start overseeing what's going on in these courtrooms. A lot of courtrooms are sealed, we don't have access to. And so the people that are involved in there are people that were chosen to be there. They're chosen for a reason. Because they're not going to talk about it. Why would a prosecutor even pick a juror when they do jury selection? They pick them because they think that person would fit their needs
Exactly.
to make this person be guilty.
Exactly.
Or in the defense's situation, they think this person will be a good person to defend their client. When you probably have some guy in there or some lady that could care less if they have to sit in this courtroom. They're ticked off that they're missing their work to come do jury duty, and they don't care. Oh, well, this guy over here says he's guilty. You know what? He's probably right. He's guilty. That's my vote. I'm going to say he's guilty.
Not to mention, you have a jury. They've been in court all day listening to the case. These people got to decide, well, wait a minute. Do we just go ahead and get this done today and vote if he's guilty or innocent? Because, it's either I get a free day off work without pay and I get the $25 from the court for being a juror. I mean, juries really aren't compensated. Most people, a lot of people when they go into jury selection, they'll say stupid shit just to get out of having to take that day off work.
I've done that.
Oh, you got some music ready?
I do. I was going to give you a tip, though. If you ever want to get out of jury duty, when they ask you why you would be a good juror, you just tell them, I can spot a guilty person just like that. It's all right. We're going to cue up some music. I think when we come back, though, we've got some other stories and stuff we really wanted to get into.
Right on.
Because, wow, the time's already flying. I can't believe how quick that we've run through this. So let's switch over to some music, and we'll be back. Oh, and we're back. The music break is really nice because it gives us a chance to rock out, too.
Gives me a chance to smoke a cigarette. What are you talking about?
I know. You get your nicotine, and I get to sit here and thrash out to some rock and roll. So we're going to go on to our next story here. This is something that I just thought was totally interesting. I titled this, homosexual pizza.
Hey!
I want to state up front, I don't care what your sexual preference is. Everyone needs to do what they want to do.
Well,
that's
the problem,
up to them.
the problem.
As long as it's not in my yard. That's all I don't care about,
The problem so much in today's society is everybody tries to find new ways to identify themselves. And to identify yourself as a sexual preference is just idiotic to me.
Well, I know. We're so much more than a preference. I hate using terms like that to, kind of proclaim who we are. I think your personality and the type of person you are should speak for you. Yeah. Not this label that society puts on everything. So this whole story that come up is about this Memories Pizza. And I believe that it's in Indiana.
Indiana, yes.
Yeah. So I guess this two couples that wanted to get married, this gay couple.
What was it, two couples or two people?
Two people.
Two people.
Two guys that wanted to get married. They wanted this pizza place to pretty much cater, I guess, their reception. That's kind of what I got from the story. Okay. And the business owner, being, I guess, they didn't say what religion. I'm guessing Christian. I don't know. I really don't care on that fact either. That goes with the other. So I'm guessing that he told the person that, look, that's kind of against our belief and religion, and we just can't do it. Now, I think common sense would say, well, they won't serve us here, do our thing, so let's just go down the road to the next pizza place, or wherever.
Yeah.
But no, that's not the case. Now they want to make this big deal that they're denying them their rights by not making the pizza for them. Now, from what I understand, as a business owner, we have the right to refuse anyone we want.
Yeah, absolutely. As a business owner, you have the right, or at least should have the right, to refuse service it doesn't matter. To refuse anyone for any reason you want.
Well, this got pretty nasty. I mean, it got to the point where they closed the store because they were getting threats. Even the high school coach of the town they're in got on Twitter and tweeted out a message that everyone should get together and go burn this place down.
That's just idiotic.
I agree. I mean,
good grief. I mean,
that shows the mentality of a group of people. We don't like it, we must smash it.
Well, I mean, people, I have seen so many, let me say, I have seen so many comments and heard so many people say, well, this is just discrimination. It's not discrimination. It's a choice of a business owner saying, hey, I'm not going to serve you.
Right.
You can go down the street and see what they say, but I'm not going to do it.
The funny thing is, he even told them, you're more than welcome to come in my restaurant and eat, but I cannot cater your reception. So he wasn't denying serving them.
He could, though.
He was just denying doing the catering part of it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, he just told him to get the hell out of the store. I mean, he tried being very polite about it.
Well, a lot of these comments, a lot of these people talking want to make this subject seem like Selma, Alabama back in the 60s or 50s, This isn't a racial thing. No one's really they're not being discriminated against. The owner just said, I can't serve you.
Well, and the owner made a good point. She said, if a group came in that was an anti-gay marriage rally and they wanted us to cater that party, we would decline that also. I don't think they're not wanting to put themselves in a negative limelight, but in a way they kind of have because of the way social media blows things up.
Yeah.
The funny thing about this story that I really dig, and this lady, her name's Courtney, I won't mention her last name, she's from California. She was actually called in and said that, that she was a lesbian, and she actually donated $20 to this fund that this pizza place has been raising. She actually apologized for the hate and the intolerance that was directed towards the pizza place. And she said she fully supports the pizzeria's owner right to stand up for their beliefs. So I find that really odd. If these people are so hateful towards the gay, lesbian community, why would someone of the lesbian community stand up for them? Now here's what's interesting though too with this is they started this fundraiser. By the second day, they made over $800,000. It would be really interesting to see what percentage of that came from the gay and lesbian community.
Well, that would be interesting. But, what we've got here is people want to say, well, I have the right to go into your business and to do business with you. At the same time, you don't have the right to refuse me service based on anything. You have to serve me. Well, I'm sorry, people, but this is America. Everybody has the equal rights to deny or in this case, perform whatever service. And it works both ways. If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
So, and here's my thought on this. Let's say that we make businesses serve people no matter what, whether they want to or not. So let's flip this whole story around.
Okay.
Let's say that these two gentlemen that wanted to have pizza at their reception, which, why anybody does that, I'm not really for sure. Let's say they own a shop, and they're in the business of making signs and shirts, a printing shop.
Okay. Printing shop. Gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. So let's say a group of people that are anti-gay come into their shop and want to order shirts and signs with anti-gay slogans. Would they not have the right to deny them service?
You would think if they wanted to deny them service, they would have that option. No one's saying they have to.
But let's say they do deny. Would that give the people they denied a reason to come back and backlash them like this?
Well, with the social media and all this, they can throw all the talk they want. They can Twitter and Facebook about all the crap they want to. Everybody has this First Amendment right to say whatever the hell they want. That's great. Now, the question is, do they have legal grounds? I don't see any legal grounds either way. If they deny service, fine. I don't see there's room for a lawsuit there.
Well, I think the problem is nowadays if there's a difference in any kind of group, it automatically turns to like this malicious mentality that we must attack them and remove them because they're the poison.
Well, no, what we've got here, this is clearly a case of the squeaky wheel getting the grease. Okay? You've got this gay couple, they have to have their pizzeria pizza for their wedding reception. Okay, I'm sorry, we can't do that. Well, guess what? Now we got this big squeaky wheel getting all this attention and all this grease.
Yeah, I don't see that's going to solve a problem.
It's not going to solve a problem. It's not going to do anything but get them attention.
But attention has actually worked against their favor. Because here this pizzeria has raised over $800,000 worth of funds.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like the pizzeria couldn't accommodate the amount of sausage they wanted on their pizza.
Oh, that's just wrong. They get this mentality, though, that we have to attack everything that we disagree with. For once, wouldn't it be nice to see people sit down and have open discussions of things they don't agree on or things they do agree on? I mean, I've never understood why, and, I guess, okay, I'll say this. My faith, I believe, I'm a Christian, in my opinion. Other people might have other words for me. I've never understood why Christians do attack gays because they should be on our side. If you really think about this, we should be on their side. Because Christians are against abortion. Who has less abortions than the lesbian and gay community? They have none.
Well, I don't think you can say they have none.
I would say it's very slim. But, I mean, we do actually have some ideals in common. I think we put these labels on each other, and that's what we are. We walk around like that's us. That label is who I am. It's not. I mean,
I think the bigger problem is people allow that to happen. People, especially this generation of people, have a huge tendency on labeling everything. We label the types of music and then label the person that listens to that type of music. Or your stance on whatever political issue. I mean, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you're a liberal, we have all these labels to identify you as versus, well, hey, this is John Smith. He's a cool guy. We have all these other labels, and that's crap.
Well, I mean, even the fact that we label other people, I think it gets even worse when we start labeling ourselves. It's like when you introduce yourself, do you walk up and say, hi, my name is Sean, or do you go, hi, I'm a Christian?
Exactly.
And I think a lot of that's going on, that we're self-labeling. So when we do talk to people, we become very standoffish. We're not there with an open mind to talk about anything. We're there to say, I'm right, you're wrong. Doesn't matter what you say.
Well, then again, you have these people with this MSN News or Fox News mentality where it's, certain people just fall on certain sides of issues, and there's no conversation. It's just a matter of I'm right, you're wrong, that's it. I won't listen to anything you have to say because you think this way, therefore anything you have to say doesn't even matter.
I don't know. I don't think there's a solution to this problem either, because this problem's been going on for a very long time.
Yeah, I don't see the problem. I don't see that there is a problem. Keep your sexual orientation in the bedroom where it belongs, or the elevator, or wherever. You don't need to flaunt it out there for everybody. You don't need a parade for it.
Well, and what doesn't help is the media grabs on to these stories. Now, the story didn't read that a group of gay people are bashing this business and threatening them. It came out that a pizzeria denies gay couple pizza.
Yeah. Well, you got this pseudo journalism going again, this sensationalism. The journalism today is taking the small story, rewording it to where it just enrages people or grabs people's attention,
Or stories that are completely senseless and useless.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how much news I read that is, I feel like I wasted that moment in my life by reading that little column they put. Do I need to know, about the different clothes coming out, or so-and-so's putting a new clothesline out, or this is all fashion crap that can be put in a magazine, sold to the people that really want to see it, or on a website that people want to see it. We actually have a call coming in.
We have a call? Holy shit.
I want to answer this real quick. And welcome to the show. What do you got to say?
Is this the Asylum?
This is the Asylum.
Ah, listen, I got a question for the doctor.
The doctor is in.
Listen, I've got a terrible case of hemorrhoids. I'm not sure what to do. Until now, I've just been ramming them back up in there with my thumb. You got any suggestions?
Yes. Try butter first. Or margarine.
Well, I always prefer crunchy peanut butter.
Well, the peanuts will sometimes have a habit of getting caught
Hey,
in the crevices,
listen. If you were a giant hot dog, would you eat yourself? Well, I know I'll do it.
He said,
I'm slathering myself in mustard, wash myself down with a cold Budweiser.
if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? Because he would.
Well, that kind of borderlines cannibalism, I would think. And speaking of cannibalism, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, now let's say you're out with a date, you're out with your chick or whatever, and you're having a great time. Maybe have a few drinks or whatnot, and it's later in the evening, and out of nowhere the chick starts giving you a blowjob. And it's great. This chick has had practice. It's awesome. Everything's going great. All of a sudden, boom! You nut. You pop one off in her mouth and she swallows it. Now, does that make her a cannibal?
Well, technically, I guess it does. Listen, I heard y'all were talking about homosexual pizza.
Yeah, well, actually, it wasn't the pizza that was homosexual. It was the customers.
Well, listen, I wanted to call in because I've actually had a little experience with homosexual pizza.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, I was out in L.A., and I got into this group of 12 bikers. And it was a horrible situation. They put me in the middle, told me to get ready and help them make a pizza. I spent 6 hours jerking off 12 bikers. And by the time I was done, the sauce was cold. It didn't work out. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts on this is maybe try the Alfredo sauce.
I don't know if it's salty enough.
So caller, what's your name?
My name's Harry.
Hi, Harry. I see your dilemma. I'm thinking maybe you need to get like an insulated cup to keep it in.
Like a thermos?
There you go, a pizza thermos.
That's a great idea. Next time I'm in L.A., I'll have to pack my thermos.
You might want to try to find something microwavable too. You never know. Leftovers, warm them up.
Hey, listen, I don't know if they'll ever bring a microwave on the airplane.
Well, wait a minute. They make these little USB.
You're speaking too loud into the phone, Harry. I hardly heard you.
They make these little USB heated cups. So if you're on a plane or something, you can have your wad in the cup, plug it into your laptop, keep it warm for the trip.
Listen, I like it. It sounds good. Maybe next time you can come with me, Doctor.
International, I'm there.
He is pretty good at suppositories.
We can cut our pizza making time in half with you helping.
All right, Harry, thanks for calling. We're going to let you go. We got to move on, buddy.
All right. See ya.
Harry.
Oh my goodness. That was like a train wreck waiting to happen. All right, let's move away from this. I'm going to go ahead and throw on some tunes, and we're going to take a small break real quick, and then we'll come right back. And we're back. Man, poor Harry, I tell you. It sounded like he was swallowing the dang phone for a second there. I was wondering what was going on with that.
Yeah, he was. The mic was running a little hot there.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if we can fix that.
I missed out on the whole L.A. circle jerk with 12 bikers and his pizza getting cold part.
Yeah. Did you catch the hemorrhoid part?
I did catch. Well, I didn't catch it, but I understood what he was saying.
I think he said he had hemorrhoids, and he needed to know if he should use a cream or just push them back in with his thumb.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would have said if they're itching, just get you some Lee press-on nails. You should be good.
Well, maybe he should have been nicer to the bikers.
No, that's true.
There you go.
Okay. So, this last bit, I think we're going to play a game of Clue.
Clue, huh?
Clue. And we'll let people decide for themselves.
Hey, maybe we should have Harry come over and play Professor Thumb.
Let's not say we did. So we'll let people decide who is guilty.
Who is guilty, huh?
Yeah. So
okay.
Here's the question in Clue.
Okay.
Who killed rock and roll? Oh, that's like a loaded weapon, isn't it?
Yeah, that's rough.
So, I don't think.
Now, in your argument here, you're saying rock and roll is dead.
Well, I'm not saying it is. That comment was made by Gene Simmons. He's saying rock and roll is dead and the fans killed it. So it wasn't some 15-year-old named Timmy in St. Paul, Minnesota that killed it. I personally believe...
Nothing against the people in St. Paul, Minnesota. We love you.
Yeah, nothing. Especially little Timmy. Anyway, I believe that it was the greedy corporate Mongols who actually, they kind of like tied their own noose on this situation.
Is it the corporate mongrels or the corporate moguls?
Moguls.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a speech impediment there.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say an impediment. I think you had a little disconnection from the brain to your mouth thing going on, but
that's
we'll move on.
24/7. I don't have a filter, sir. Okay. So, Mr. Simmons, the a-hole he is, has made this big spiel about how the fans have killed rock and roll.
You got a clip of this?
Actually, you know what? I do.
Let's hear it from the ass's mouth.
Okay, let me roll this real quick and we'll let everybody see what we're talking about.
Okay.
That it was going to start on stage and would eventually lead to this.
Nice.
We're partners with Visa, and I mean, why can't we be a part of every facet of your life? Notice I'm holding it here long enough for the cameras to close in.
I got
because it's free. Yeah.
Well, I just want to ask you: do you ever think that perhaps the KISS Visa card, the KISS coffin, and things like that may overshadow the music, or is the music just one component part of the KISS overall?
Who cares? Look, everybody's exactly in the same KISS business as KISS is in. We just do it a zillion times bigger. Everybody goes out on tour and sells T-shirts. You're in the KISS business, baby. See, when you buy a T-shirt, you don't get music. You're in the licensing and merchandising business. The only thing everybody's complaining about, REM and Sting and punk bands and thrash bands, although there are no more of those. Whatever you want, a death metal band, we're not like KISS. Yes, you are. You're goddamn straight you are. Johnny Lydon, who has always been straight up about it.
Yeah, I know. He's very honest.
Very honest. This sucks. You better pay me money, And that's life. We're all exactly the fuck the same. And anybody that tells you that they want less money in life, be suspicious of this person. This is a liar. Everybody wants more money. I just want enough money. You're full of shit. It's never enough. You know when it's enough? When you're dead. That's when it's enough.
What is your involvement in the music industry at this point?
I support new bands, but there's no more record industry. I went on record initially when Kazaa and all the download sites went on. This is robbery. This will kill the music industry. You will all be sorry. The record industries are just about to roll over and die. The entire industry is in chaos because anything you give away for free will come back and fuck you up. The biggest music on earth is rap music because rockers stopped acting like rock stars. You didn't want to show people that you had big houses. You didn't want to show them that you were surrounded by beautiful women with big tits, which we all love. Don't kid yourself. You wouldn't wear your jewelry. You didn't want to drive around your fast cars. And we started to look like bums. And who didn't? Rappers. Rappers are the new rock stars who feel great, comfortable, unapologetic, and flip you off when you see, you like my house? They throw money on the screen. They're rock stars. We want our rock stars to be unlike ordinary people. Well, the rock stars became ordinary people. The record industry sucked and rolled over, wasn't litigious. You'll only get the respect you demand. They didn't go after all those college kids, hundreds of thousands, and wipe them off the face of the earth for infringing on artists' rights. The record industry is dead because of the fans. They killed it. And what you have now is chaos because that happened. And so what's going on with new bands? Good luck. My God, how the fuck are you going to put a new record out there? You're not going to get an advance, or very little of it. Tour support is out the window. Unless you're an emo band or rap, you're dead. How are you going to be a punk band and come out here and try to make a living without, of course, having to deal with all the other punkers who say it's not about the money? Right. Let's put that aside. But how are you going to be the next Rollins Band or Black Flag and expect to go out on tour and pay your bills? How do you do that?
So basically what he just boiled everything down to is money.
Yeah.
It's not rock and roll.
It's not rock. It's not music. It's a business.
Yeah, it's all a business.
It's all a business.
Well, I think where they made the mistake in general was they started out with this industry of selling music. Now, at one time, we paid, I think it was like $7 or $8 for a cassette tape.
Yeah.
And the technology changed, and then it went to a CD, and it cost a little more to make per thing. So now let's charge $18 for a CD. Now, as time went along, that price dropped.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, matter of fact, we did some research and found out it cost
we
about,
did. 33 cents?
30 cents, yeah, something like that.
To make a blank CD.
Yeah, to make an album on CD, just to put it on the CD.
Oh, was that including making the album and printing it?
Well, no, making an album costs a lot more money. But just the printing it and putting it on a CD costs about 30 cents. Now, if we've noticed, the price hasn't dropped.
Oh, no.
Can't
have that.
No, we're still paying outrageous prices for CDs.
And on the flip side, you have these companies bitching about free downloads, people pirating. I mean, these big companies, well, like the Napster incident with Metallica. Metallica was, oh, you're infringing upon our rights, blah, 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 blah. Well, what's the difference in when I hear it on the radio and hit record on my cassette player?
But you know what makes me mad about Metallica?
Oh, well, there's a lot that makes both of us mad about Metallica. We could do a whole segment on Metallica.
Just on this music deal. Back in the day, when they were underground, they used to give out free cassette tapes at their shows.
Everyone did. And
they would tell you, make copies of this and give it to your friends. Get our music out there.
I remember Powerman 5000 giving out cassette tapes and bumper stickers at White Zombie shows, you know.
Yeah, so, yeah, when they weren't making money, they want you to be their whore and spread their music.
Yeah.
But now when there's a price tag attached to it,
yeah,
now you're infringing on my rights. And I think it goes a little too far. But back to the CD, the price never dropped. So the whole time, they're kind of screwing the consumer. we never got a break on any of that music. Well, now we found a new faucet to get our music, which is the MP3.
Yeah.
So now I can go on Amazon or iTunes and buy a song for 99 cents.
Without having to buy the whole album.
Right, I get what I want.
This really leads into, with a lot of today's music, the albums, overall albums, aren't near as great or epic as they used to be. I mean, very few bands do you have that epic album anymore. You know, well, in the early Metallica days, you know, we had Ride the Lightning and Justice for All, Master of Puppets. Those are albums that were just epic albums for that band, period. And nowadays, I mean, you've got CDs with a couple of singles on them that are great singles, and the rest 10 tracks suck. So you've got things like iTunes saying, well, now you can buy this one song for 99 cents. You don't have to buy the whole album. And you've got album sales hurting from this iTunes thing.
Well, actually, that's called filler.
Yeah, it's called shit, if you ask me.
Back in the day when a band would write an album, they would end up writing 20-something songs. Now, granted, in the end, you might end up with 12 to 13 on the album. Oh. Now, we call those other ones B-sides. Later down the road, a band would release a B-side tracks, and, you know, you get that little special something from your favorite band.
You know, another band, which I love this next band I'm about ready to talk about. But they were notorious for coming out with an album and then coming out with like the B-side album or the altered mix album. Now that's 9 Inch Nails. I mean, they would come out with an album and they would come out with like Halo 4, which was remixes and maybe one obscure track that wasn't included in the original album.
Song, right.
Yeah, but it was only like a 4 or 5 track CD.
Well, there was a lot of 4 or 5 track CDs for them.
You know, and they were notorious for coming out with these Halo albums, Halo 5, Halo 8, Halo 12, and
so nowadays, instead of writing 20 plus songs and then picking 12 or 13 to put on an album, I really believe the artists are taking the music and they're like, oh crap, we have to write 2 more songs to finish this album. And they're throwing songs together in a couple of days, and then they're selling it. And like I said, it's crap.
It is. Crap. And you got the same artists that are writing crap music, putting crap albums together, bitching about the money that they're making. Well, fuck, they're lucky to make any money. So what do they do instead? They come out with t-shirts, jewelry, lunch boxes, signature guitars. They come out with all this other crap, all this merchandise to make up for that lost album sale. Whereas if they would have done a better job making an album, they wouldn't have this issue.
Well, I would like to tell Gene Simmons that the fan did not kill rock and roll. The fans got tired of your shit.
Yeah.
We got tired of paying $200 to see a band in concert.
Oh my, I did a little breakdown of concerts, but go ahead.
And we got tired of paying $50 for a t-shirt. And then if we wanted a beer while at the show, we didn't want to pay $10 for it anymore.
Oh, $10 for a beer? Yeah, that's stupid. Plus, you got to pay for parking.
Pay for parking, the gas to get there.
Yeah.
And are you going to go by yourself? No, you're probably going to go with a date. So now you're paying double the amount.
Yeah, you're paying like $150 for 2 tickets, depending on who you see.
Well, no, some of the tickets I saw were going for $150 a piece.
Yeah. But I'm not saying, you know, like the Rolling Stones concert here, which is coming up. But I'm just talking about you're going to see, you know, some other lesser known band. You know, let's say, Disturbed. You know, you're not going to pay $75 to see Disturbed. You know, you might pay $35 or $50 or something to go see Disturbed. You know, if you're a Disturbed fan.
I am a Disturbed fan. I'm just thinking around 30 is a good price.
You know, but still, like you said, you got gas, you got parking. If you want something to eat or drink, then merchandise. I mean, there's no way you're going to get out of there without spending less than $200.
And why would I spend $200 to see a band when I can spend $30 and see 10 bands at an all-day festival?
Well, true. Or you could just buy the damn DVD. $20, you buy the band's DVD, and you don't have to worry about going there at all.
I can go to Rockfest for $30
Rockfest. That big music, that one-day music festival in Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read a thing. They had like the most beer sales in the United States. One-day beer sales in the United States.
Yeah. And so here you have a one-day festival with like I don't know how many bands. Is it 15 bands or is it 12?
Oh
bands?
my God! It's an all-day deal, man.
Yeah, 2 stages, all the get up and go that you need for $30. That leaves room to get your T-shirt. Or maybe it's 40. I don't know. Anyway,
No. They capped it off at like 30 or 35, I think.
Either way,
But you forget something here. Now I believe the Rockfest isn't handled through Ticketmaster.
No,
they're handled through a different ticket outlet. Ticketmaster, if you remember, especially during the 90s, went stupid with their handling fees.
Right, the actual ticket was like $25, but
and the handling fee was 15.
Was 15, yeah.
Yeah.
But earlier, let's go back some. You're squirreling on me, dude.
Meds are kicking in. What can I say?
Right. Always happens like towards the end of the show, the meds are kicking in, we're winding down, and stuff's happening. So I can spend the $30 for a ticket. I can still buy T-shirts. And I think the beers are only $5.
Yeah, I did read that. $5 beer. I mean,
$5 beer. I can hang out all day and spend less than $200 instead of spending $200 to see that one band.
Yeah.
And here's the sickening part of this. I did some checking myself and ran some numbers. Do you know how much it costs to book Kiss?
How much does it cost to book Kiss? If I wanted to Kiss to play in my backyard, how much would it cost me?
Just the booking fee is $500,000.
Fuck you.
$500,000 just the booking fee.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've always been a huge Kiss fan. I've seen them live. It's a great show. Very entertaining. They put on an awesome show. But there's no way in hell I'm going to pay $500,000 for those assholes to show up in my backyard.
Well, I did some other checking on some other bands. Some of my favorites. Like, I can book Alice Cooper, the legend that he is, for $60,000.
$60,000's not bad for Alice Cooper.
No, I mean, I would spend $60,000. And I mean, if I was a concert promoter,
yeah.
Trust me, I ain't squirreling away that kind of cash just to have Alice Cooper to come play at my birthday party. But as a promoter, $60,000 for a big name like that draws in the people. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I still think you're gonna have to have somebody play with Alice Cooper.
I mean. Oh yeah, you'd have to get a couple of opening bands and shows. And
I don't know. To have Alice play by himself, I would still want to throw in some other bands and make it a bigger venue. And
either way, I mean, if you crunch the numbers,
you can get
really quality name bands,
but
for a fraction of what you would spend to get like Kiss.
Yeah, Kiss not worth it. And when was the last time they came out with anything that was worth listening to? 1970 what?
The Destroyer album?
Yeah.
That was it?
And
then during his little rant, I loved the whole, we got the Kiss Visa card. We have a Kiss coffin.
Oh, don't forget about the Kiss Cruise. They actually...
Oh, yes, the Kiss Cruise.
These assholes, and it really hurts me to say these assholes because, like I said, I've been a huge Kiss fan since I ever knew of them, Kiss fan from the cradle. These assholes have got a fucking cruise ship. What was it, like a 2-day cruise for $900 on the cheap side?
That's the cheapest ticket is $900.
Oh, that's one ticket.
But it's okay though. You get a couple autographed pieces of memorabilia and a picture with the band. Oh, you don't look impressed by that.
I'm not real impressed.
I mean, I can think of a lot of things I could spend $900 on.
Yeah, not that I'm a big Sammy Hagar fan, but I think the cruise would be a lot more fun if it was Sammy Hagar.
I guarantee everybody would be drunk.
What? That's the point, man.
I just can't see spending that good money. And all this merchandising that he does, the coffin. Who the hell buys a Kiss coffin?
I think it'd look cool in your living room. I gotta admit, I think it would look cool. But I'm sure they probably want a stupid amount of money for this Kiss coffin.
But why would you put a Kiss coffin in your living room?
Why not?
I just don't see
I've seen people with the Kiss bar stools. Those are cool.
It's a bar stool. Someone's going to sit on it. There's a purpose for it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the Kiss coffin?
Maybe put somebody in it.
Hey, I'm going to get buried in a Kiss coffin. That just sounds like a very asinine thing.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm spending all this money to bury it in the dirt. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of these bands, I think they overcompensate with merchandising and very good publicity than they do on actually putting out a quality album.
Well, yeah, they want to sell. And that brings it back to the coffin. What sick bastard's going to put a coffin in his living room?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, nobody can see me raise my hand out there.
Yeah.
But,
for you listeners at home, Sean raised his hand.
Sean used to have a coffin in his living room.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I used to have a black coffin. That's the first thing you saw when you come in, I think. Yeah, the merchandising's out of control. There's no reason to put your name on everything.
Yeah.
I just don't see that.
I can understand the hats and t-shirts. We all bought hats and t-shirts.
Everyone's had the keychain, bumper stickers. But what's too much? When's the stopping point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do we go with that?
Like I said, the way I see it is it's overcompensation for shitty music. I mean, look at Justin Bieber. Look at all the merchandising he did for shitty music. I mean, people saw him on American Idol years ago, and now their 3-year-olds or 5-year-olds are wearing his Justin Bieber backpack to preschool.
He was on American Idol?
Wasn't he?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I
thought he was.
I couldn't tell you because
I don't watch it either.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Hey, for any listener out there, if you've seen American Idol, call us and let us know if he was on American Idol. We will then make fun of you and various other comments.
Oh, that's going to get people to call.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we got like 20 minutes left. Let's go ahead and take a short music break, and then we'll come back and we'll kind of rant at whatever flows out of our mouth. I mean.
Sounds good.
Oh, man, I tell you what.
Was that good for you?
Yeah, I really dig that, like, Texas metal sound.
Texas metal, man. Who would ever thought that, pre-Pantera, who would ever thought that kick-ass metal would come out of Texas?
Pantera, like, kind of set the record for everybody.
Oh, my God.
Here's the standard. I mean, you're not going to beat it, but this is what you need to at least live up to if you're going to be
George Jones, sure, I could see George Jones coming out of Texas, but I mean, freaking Pantera. I don't even know George Jones is from Texas, man.
Well, okay, let's say technically 3/4 of the band's from Texas. Phil was not from Texas. He's from Louisiana.
Wow. I never hear the accent in Phil's voice.
No, he didn't have the Raging Cajun going on.
No, he does not.
Yeah, no, he was out of Louisiana, so. But, I mean, the dynamic between all the members of that band originally when it first started, you can't live up to that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Back in the day, we had the L.A. rock scene, or the L.A. metals, the glam metal from L.A.
Which that's what that stood for, glam, right?
What the fuck are you talking about?
They used to make fun of glam metal, glam rock, and they said glam. I think Dave Mustaine was actually one of the ones that quoted it. He said, "Glam metal stands for gay LA metal."
Well, I can see that.
That's where that came from.
I can see that.
Anyway, back
you kind of just nullified my whole thing I was going to say. Thank you very much.
I like.
And speaking of thank you, we got to shout out to those crazy fuckers over there in Warrensburg who are out there having this blazing huge ass field party or bonfire party out there, tuned in and listen to us.
Don't forget Harry.
Oh yeah, and Harry. Yeah, Harry. That was.
I hope he's setting okay after his hemorrhoid problem he told us about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Maybe we should mail him like one of those donut rings or something he could set on.
Well, if you got his address, you can personally deliver that.
I don't know if I want to knock on Harry's door.
You might want to take some kind of semen warmer with you. I mean, he sounded like in pretty dire need.
I'll buy the guy a thermos.
There you go.
As long as it keeps it hot, I guess. So, yeah, I have no idea. Actually, thanks for anyone that listens. I mean, because this is something we've wanted to do for a long time. But just never could get it up and going. So
well, they make a blue pill for that now.
So you're saying we could have took a pill and we'd had it up a long time ago?
Take the blue pill.
Take the blue. I want the red one. I just want to forget it all happened.
Rufinol.
Yeah,
forget the last night.
That was roofies, yeah. No, that's not going to work either. But no, for 5 years or 6 years, we planned on doing this, and it just never came together. And how this kind of fell in our lap and all at once we were talking about it, and within a week we had a station up and running. I mean, it doesn't hurt that we're awesome. I get that. It happens. I don't know how many times I gotta look at people and go, man, I just awesomed all over the place. It happens. But really it was luck how everything fell together.
Hearing you say that's just gonna really change the way I look at you when I hear you speak. Like, I had a flashback of you telling me, dude, I went to this awesome baby shower, and now my perspective has totally changed, and I'm a little creeped out.
Baby shower doesn't mean a bunch of people. It just means 2 people. If you spray, you pay.
Oh, good Lord.
I know. This is all just like extra filler because I think we're pretty much out of material for the night.
Well, I mean, we've got more stuff here. We were talking about the music industry and how big corporate has really railroaded down the quality of music and just.
Well, I don't want to beat that drum anymore because really we're kind of down to like 8 minutes or so, and if we start, we won't even finish for the next 45 minutes. We'll be on the same.
Do you need another blue pill?
No, I don't want another blue pill. Is that a suppository?
Well, now there are blue suppositories, but I don't think this blue pill is the suppository.
Harry might be interested.
That might be why he has hemorrhoids.
He's pushing the wrong pill.
He's pushing the wrong pill.
If I paint my thumb blue, does that count? Poor Harry. So, yep, pretty much wraps up the Saturday night. I had fun. I'm probably thinking there's probably a couple people out there going, oh my god, I just wasted the last 2 hours listening to these 2 jackasses. Sorry.
Yeah, well, those people are probably playing World of Warcraft right now too anyway, so.
Yeah. I'll just come back next week and you can waste 2 more hours. Because let me tell you, if you're sitting at home right now listening to this, you probably don't have much other options anyway. So, because if I'm sitting here doing this, that pretty much means I don't have a life either.
Well, you could picky pork it, but I prefer you wait till after I leave.
It's Porky Pigget.
Or Porky Pigget.
What is that, dyslexia? Yeah. You're piggy porking. I'm not porking no pig. I don't know where that came from. Oh, that's leftover bestiality, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have some issues.
Next week, bestiality leftovers.
Well, actually, next week, I'm going to be out of town, so next week's show will be pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded.
Yeah, so that means you're going to be responsible for taking care of that. I worry. I'm going to be sitting in Jeff City that night.
With your phone. With
my phone, listening, because I'm going to be worried, like, oh my god, what's he going to do?
I'll break into the old folks' home, get them good, and, get them mixing their meds and just having them say stupid shit on the microphone.
Yeah, that could be kind of trippy, huh?
Yeah, just have bail money ready for me.
I can't afford to bail myself out. That's why I don't get arrested anymore. Well, that, and I really don't do anything to break the law anymore. Huh, funny how that works out. You don't break the law, you don't get arrested. Maybe.
What about that guy our lead story, what are you talking about? Talking about needing medication, my God. We opened up the show about this poor guy who went to jail and spent 28 years on death row. And you're saying, well, if you don't break the law, you don't go to jail. Well, this asshole did.
There's circumstances. I really would have loved to seen if they would have told the story if the man was white or black. I think that would have made a difference in the whole story. Because it really just kind of goes along with what we're dealing with right now with the whole Ferguson situation and the guy who just got shot in the back by that cop.
Oh, yeah, and was that South Carolina, wasn't it?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, would that make a difference in that situation?
That cop is done.
Or that cop needs to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to. If someone's running from you and you shoot him in the back, you are a killer.
Yeah.
They're no longer a threat when they're running away, people. Ow, I just hit my elbow on the microphone. Oh.
I give that a 4.2.
That was like a little golf clap. You got a little sissy in you today, don't you?
Damn it,
Oh,
Harry.
so now you're checking. Don't look too far up there. Your head may get stuck.
I want some extra sausage on my pizza.
Oh, that could be. That could probably be arranged depending if you go to Indiana. Apparently that's a big issue out there right now. But I think it's getting to be just about quitting time here. So we're going to roll out with a couple songs, and we will see you guys next week.